This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas South Island Promotion Board, Burger King, City of Hope, France Department Store, Click, KFC, Muffler World, Nassau Cruise Port, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, and Sandcastle Bahamas.
Earthquake! There's one in case again, man. Sparkles of dust. Watch this now. Hey. Wanna get me hot this year? Where them a go do if you hold me? Or do you hear me? Or to get me wicked this year? Not even water can gold me. Not a mercy. Or to get me hot, to get me hot, to get me wicked. And if I did you check it, so I get damage, don't trespass. Hot boy muscles, stupid, to get them lyrics on me more, to get them slow and rapid. I am calm as a lamb, don't feel I'm timid. If I did you check it, so I get executed. Just back. I am lyrically ill. 90s, I am programmed to kill. Tell the whole of them, dirty man, him really come hot this year. Where them a go do if you hold me? Or do you hear me? Or to get me wicked this year? Not even water can cool me. Not a mercy. Come now, DJ Vistan, get to the silver rearrange. Think positive and come on the front page. Come in them know, say you're lyrically brave. Hold the pace right back to what the kid. No matter with after 2 years, you start fade. Right now, this one lyrics parade. Me young lyrics in the clocks and lyrics in the suede. Fire, or the better.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Friday, July 25th edition of the company right up until 6 p.m. on this hot Friday edition, boy. Classic Dirt Man bringing me in right there, boy.
You're so... I see why you have that name you have. You're so terrible.
It's Friday, man.
And a beautiful Friday it is.
Oh, yeah, and we got lots to talk about.
And a special guest
later on. Coming up in short order. We'll get to that in a minute. But like I tell you, we got lots to talk about. And like we do all day, every day, right here on Talking Heads, since we started here, because, you know, we used to be there, but now we're here. Mm-hmm. We always want you to chime in. That's why it's called Talking Heads. So, you know, if you want to be one, then feel free to chime in, and here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence. 323-6232. 325-4259. 325-4316. Toll free in anyone of the Family Islands. 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh new smart talk all day right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. All right, Mr. Producer, before we get to the headlines, just indulge me for a moment. Because, boy, MJ, we got to talk.
What's that?
We got lots to talk about today.
Talk about?
First of all, I know I can't leave Pearly alone for 5 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
But we'll get to that. You know, my love to my brother Pearly, and of course, our brother Pearly. But I just want to clear the air on something. I want to make something abundantly clear to everybody. For all my morning radio career, and obviously your radio career, taking nothing away from that, your midday career.
Yeah.
I could honestly say, because I got someone showing it out for years. I think I retired the award. And I'm not saying that from a braggadocious standpoint. But one of the biggest awards outside of the hardware, the trophies, was that people dubbed me the People's Champ. Because I used to ride for certain things in the morning. Like, that's where the disabled parking situation came up.
Originally.
That's where it originated. And then, you know, signs on the wall everywhere, and people, you know, parking payloaders and stuff on private property. They didn't want to move it. So, you know, we used to get involved, and people used to love the show. And when I transitioned to this portion, that the People's Champ portion of it, how it used to be open in the morning, or I'd put you on blast for being inconsiderate to the community and talk out on some national issues. I guess that's where the birth of my talk show, you know, career was coming from. So then we got to Talking Heads, and it got to that point. And here's where MJ and I have to make it abundantly clear. This is not the first incarnation of Talking Heads.
Well,
We
no.
did Talking Heads. We was on Shirley Street
Right.
at Kiss 96.
Right. That's what Lesser originated.
That's for everybody
at,
know. Tuesday and Thursday.
At the Tribune.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then there was opportunity to come here,
Tribune Group. Right.
and we came over to Guardian, and always the show was Talking Heads because it wasn't just me and MJ talking. We were trying to get as many guests in as possible from all sides of the political divide and from everyday public. And for you, Joe Public.
I'm coming up with that name, right? Because we were like, oh, usually they put their name, this is so-and-so show,
Yeah.
XYZ. But I said, and you agreed, and we
Correct.
came to the conclusion that if we do a talk show, it really should be about, giving Bahamians, like everyday Bahamians, because that's what I consider myself, an everyday Bahamian,
And considering-
a chance to get their voices out there.
We worked around some of the best talk show hosts in the country and watched a lot of these shows grow. Like me in the morning getting off, watching them going in. And when that show finished, your show start.
Yeah.
So you know the jargon. You
Fun
know.
times.
Correct. And
Fun
you know how the
times.
ting go.
Yeah.
So obviously we always knew that Joe Public likes to have a platform. And if you do the show correctly, it helps because you get ideas, you get solutions. Yeah, you get some critiques, but at the end of the day, it's a platform for all of us to come together, get the best ideas going, and make the 242 a better place. So I want to make it abundantly clear. That's what Talking Heads is all about. So you'll see Talking Heads from all varieties. All right? Now, caller, I see I'll get to you in a second. Part of the headlines, all right? And we could jump into the headlines right now. Don't worry about it. We go straight into it. Obviously brought to you by Fine Threads. Let's get a couple of these out of the way, and then we'll get to where we need to be. On the attack, PM wrongly accuses Guardian of false reporting.
The genesis
All right.
of the madness yesterday.
That's the first short lick. All right, I can tell you in the second short lick. Bahamian creative shine in Prague. Good for them.
Then don't they say you gotta be fancy when you say
Prague.
names of fancy
That's
places?
why you're here.
Prague.
Beautiful. Brains and beauty. Government signed $17.96 million contract for Black Point Airport. All right, the contract signed. Now let's see it come to fruition. Second shot fired. OPM complains to IRCA about Guardian Radio. First and foremost, everything now, the Mr. Ramen, and I have a new name for him. Lytre Fleming, Director of Miscommunication. Because I find it very disingenuous that on multiple occasions he's been invited to this show, accepted, and at the last minute flaked out with nary a phone call or nary an apology. So I get it. I have extended, personally, I don't just have friends on the F&M divide, and I got a couple of COI friends too. I don't brag on that, but I mean, I do. And then, boom, I got some PLP friends too who happen to be MPs. And the ironic thing was, in our previous incarnation on Shirley Street, before the election last go round, several sitting MPs, at least 8 on my fingers are 9.
Sitting ministers,
Ministers,
were guests
sorry.
on this show at a different place,
and
but
it was
same name,
all GOOD good.
same style. Nothing's changed.
Some of them have come to me and say, dude, feeling the show.
Facts and
I want you to come
accountability.
on. I know you want me to come on, but they're not allowing me to come on. Which I think is gross cowardice, because if you have anything to brag about as a government or as an administration, then your MP should be on every platform available to talk about what a good job you're doing.
But this is
and
where-
then have the facts to
It gets a little tricky as well, though, because, and I hate to say this, but you have the Director of Communications basically using like a bully pulpit to, I guess, chastise our colleague, Pearlie.
Right.
And it's struck of a very partisan tone. This is supposed to be the state, and he's talking about political parties. I would have understood a bit better had it been the Progressive Liberal Party that may have said, okay, we're not sure, look into this, IRCA. And by the way, the leaking of the letter, that was another layer of cowardice. We know there was a much bigger story happening, much more pertinent to the country happening earlier in the day. And then suddenly this letter that never came directly to the Guardian, but somehow made it into the press. I find that to be like quite shocking. But for Mr. Raming, who is supposed to be, for all intents and purposes, nonpartisan, I mean, he's a part of the government. He wasn't wearing his PLP hat. I wouldn't think. He used his Director of Communications hat to talk about something that was really, about partisan politics. And I found that to be quite shocking. And I cannot respect that at all.
Extended the invitation, reached out to Clint Watson as well. And I know Clint a long time from when he was skinny. All right?
Let's just stop.
Now,
I like Clint. Stop.
That's my boy, but I tell no lie. So obviously, yes. Now, Pearlie has been hosting the show for 3 years.
Amazing.
Nary a word.
Doing a great job as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nary a word from anybody.
Suddenly he fills in for
And let
2
me
weeks.
tell you how the thing go. When this show started, Thursday is a big day for me sports-wise with my boys. And Pearlie knows that from years. And he always provided the opportunity to say, listen, if you need to do something on Thursday, you could do it, whether it's coaching or whether it's playing ball or whatever on Thursday. I know that's your hectic day. So if you need me to fill in, I can, because he used to fill in and be a host on the Press Box, which was a sports talk show he had on
Man,
the
he's
other
got
station.
years and years under
Years
his
of
belt.
experience.
An absolute pro.
So if anybody could fly the Millennium Falcon, if it ain't me or MJ, well, it could be Chewbacca, a.k.a. Pearlie. And I said that with the most affection, Pearlie. But he came in, he did a good job. So much so to the point people let me say, yeah, but he did a good job filling in.
Yeah.
And then the light bulb went off. And I said, look, let me lean in and pull a page out of my good friend Juan McCartney's book. Because when Juan used to host the show, he would have a day off, and Howard would host for him.
Right.
That's how Howard cut his teeth around here. So I said, you know what? Pay it forward. That works out. You could do your coaching or support the boys and just into it. MJ get a break if you don't want to do the practice run. It worked out. Took off on Thursdays. People, obviously y'all who texting all the time, Pearlie doing a good job, so obviously it was good enough to work. So now, silly season coming up, and now it's a problem. Pearlie calls it right down the middle. And
Sometimes he overcorrects.
And
Sometimes
like
he
myself-
leans so far.
Yeah, and like myself and like MJ, and especially me, I got a BS detector. I want to hear from everybody, but I reserve the right to call BS. And we agree to disagree, and that's fine. That still don't stop me or you from being Bahamians and wanting to make this a better place. Just on some things, we got to figure out common ground, and then we could build from there. But at the end of the day, I think everybody in this country is entitled to their opinion. And if there wasn't a Freedom of Information Act, it was a Freedom of Information Act, we wouldn't be having to go through half of this. Do you think I want to ask tough questions every day? Maybe if I could find the information and figure it out and understand it, yeah. But we got to ask the tough questions because the government is not speaking to anybody. The media was compromised the last go round. I am sitting in this chair to this day. I don't know why certain party affiliates get upset with me for throwing it high and hard across the plate. Jeff Lloyd occupied this chair before, Mr. Haircut and the Shave. The prior host of this show, now an ambassador in Canada, held people accountable, high and tight. So this thing's come with the territory. And again, when we had a previous incarnation of this show, all y'all MPs were sitting right in here, and ministers.
Most of them are ministers.
Most of y'all
now.
ministers.
Most of them
and
are.
couldn't wait to get on.
Boy. And we had some great conversations. Back then,
Now-
they were very candid and open. Now it's
Albeit-
that's hard from this show.
I know they got you muzzled now, because some of you, and I won't call the names, but I appreciate y'all respecting our friendship enough to say, yeah, I want to come, but they won't let me.
That's tricky.
Because why? You don't
it's
want to sit
tricky.
down and you don't want to hear from Joe Public, who you work for? How, Sway? How does it work? And in final thought, we have always wanted people to be talking heads. Even the raven sycophant, empty barrel, draped in stupidity, ones that call to the point of nauseum. We've tried to entertain your lunacy in small doses and big doses. When you was happy at your party, when you was PO'd at your party, when you kissed and made up. But we do reserve the right to call BS when we hear it. There's been far too much misinformation put out. And if you don't pay attention, you could fall for it. So if we hold you accountable, so be it. And if we ask you to prove facts, and you can, and we have the facts to prove you wrong, then you got to do better. But 1 in the afternoon for no reason, you know. Okay?
Number one.
Number one in the afternoon for no reason.
Wait, the talk show that other talk
Man,
shows talk about?
What we exactly and they what we do. In the morning we owned it. In the midday we owned it. In the afternoon we owned it. That's how this thing goes.
Oh, Lord.
And I just want to let you know, it's not going to change because I'm here because we have a platform for Bahamian people, Bahamians first. But just if you're going to bring it, and you're going to walk the walk, talk the talk, you got to walk the walk when you come on Talking Heads. And you got to step your game up. But then anyhow, we got a special guest coming up.
We do.
And
we have to hit some.
And our special guest, we'll get to the text, we'll get to the calls. Mr. Producer, give me 2 minutes. Let me get these 2 calls out of the way so we can jump right into our guest. And our special guest coming up on the flip side of the break. An MP who was extended the invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Was the backbone and the intestinal fortitude to say, yes, I'm coming. No problem answering tough questions. And obviously known to have a pretty good dance move or two. The MP for St. Anne's.
That dance move went viral.
Mr. Adrian White.
That was viral.
So the phone lines will be open and he's there to have a conversation.
The lines will be open.
But before we get to that, let's get to this. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hey, morning, Noddy. How you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
Afternoon. Hey, Chief Raderman. Hey, what we're really going down with Purdy's situation, though? Because we still ain't really, Palmer still ain't really get a gist of what really going down because I don't understand it because I never saw your really raggy doll any politician on any show. Now, I would say that if I'm a new politician coming into the government or a new candidate, I most definitely probably would not go on your show based on the fact there's a non-scripted show and that you may pull out some form of BS if you hear it. So as a new person getting into politics, I'll probably ease my way into a different show, probably a Dwight Strawn show between when he in the wine situation or the Aaron Green show where I wouldn't get raggy doll as much. But if you hear something, you're the type of person, if you hear something that it don't add up, then you wouldn't really jump on the person, but you just call the person out on it. But I never heard you really drag anyone, no politician or anyone like that. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Thank
Well, I
you
appreciate
so much,
your opinion, caller. And thanks for
caller.
listening, man. Continue to.
Yeah.
Talking Heads.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
What's happening?
Yeah. Pearlie's only problem is he has political pedigree. You know, and he ain't about.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller. Good point.
Caller.
Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hey, how you doing? Just a quick note before you show you. I always enjoy listening to Adrian White. He can stand his own ground. I just want to let you know, right, that the information that was sent to IRCA is not a complaint. It was basically asking what their opinion is of something.
Yeah.
And so, a complaint has a process that has to happen. I talked to others in the communications field, and they said they don't understand. It's much to do about nothing, and it's probably more about marketing.
They're doubling down on it. Yeah, we should have come here to The Guardian first. Thanks.
Right. It's about substantive. See, this. You have to understand, when you have a fourplex, right, that has the ability to communicate to a wide range of people, you have, essentially they believe that you have television, you have print, you have radio, and what's the other thing? The other one, anyway, or 4 of them or more. Then the main thing is when you're going into this concept of D4, which is disruption, domination, distraction, and destruction. You need to do that to the media. A letter will come about that next week. Then you must begin with us.
There you go, man. Thanks, Yalen. I appreciate you as
the
always.
highest fruit. Thank you, Yalen.
Talking Heads.
We don't hate you. You're just naughty by nature.
Oh, Lord, here come trouble.
Might hate GNN.
Hi, Mary Jane.
Not GNN. Hold on, I got a bone to pick with you before we go 2-step.
Oh, Lord.
What kind of bone? Fish bone or chicken?
And I gonna go, no, this beef bone, this one of them shank. Listen, before I call Nana for you, I sitting there the other day, I listened to you carrying on bad on the radio, right? And I say, man, GNN can't on do anything. Then here it come. Yeah, boy, I got to thank you, Pearlie, for defending me when people is calling and give me... Now, hold on. Who was bragging a couple of weeks ago about you's American because you born on the 4th of July? And you hear all the foolishness I got for you, and I go on and protect you. And what happened? I chop liver? Am I invisible?
I come to give you your props today, Naughty.
I only messing with you, man. It's all good.
Oh, Lord.
I calling you because Naughty, GNN, Grammy Boy is angry.
What happened?
I know candidate aims to be an immaculate
reporter, worker of Guardian.
Yeah, we're going to get
I
to
know
that story.
Press is my boy.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody fool with Naughty, I vex.
Oh, Lord.
So I know if you
they
actually
call Naughty
if they
names.
play around MJ, you can really carry on, but.
Oh,
See, listen to me,
goodness.
Naughty. I could call you, Naughty, after week and get what I need done. And we could, those the radio, you know. And I'm mad. You understand?
Yeah.
So there was a song. Let me see if I can remember what the song is. There's a song I need y'all to play for the administration.
Oh, goodness.
And I lost my train of thought.
That's okay, Jen, and we appreciate your
You
thoughts, your
call
sentiments.
Mr.
Call
Producer back and tell him the song, and
let
I
him
can
know
play
the
it.
song, and we'll definitely
All right,
get
now we're
that
going to
in.
get to the break. We got our special guest coming up. But like I say,
Very
it's the
special
Hot
guest.
Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads. Phone lines open. Our special guest coming up on the flip side of the break. St. Anne's MP, FNM MP, Mr. Adrian White. We're going to have a candid conversation with him, and we're going to ask him some tough questions, all right? And he's right here ready to go. So keep it right where you got it. The line's going to be open, so guess what? Be part of the process. Become a Talking Heads. We want to hear from all of y'all right after the break.
Can't defend that. If a jailhouse you come from, we sending you go back. You full of big chat and can't defend that. If a Bellevue you come from, we sending you go back. Cause with them there when they get around hot. When we looking the food for the pot. Man of him 16 over him back. 45 and we have a rampacker. Car bazooka and all the big locker. When we moving, we move compact.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC's Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
Ooh, it's closer. If you set people's seats on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop without people calling social service on you. I know they're trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Yeah. See them are free. People thinks them are free. Yeah. Some of them know our word. See them are free. People thinks them are free. No boy can't buy me out. No man a wear name brand on the ends and a high. But me touch them find him out. Him never last a extra day on the ends because gunshot by him out.
We're back at you on the 5th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty Law with Mary Jane and your company right up until 6 p.m. And right now we're getting into the buzz, all brought to you, of course, by John Shoes. And real quick, before we get to our special guest, let me get these texts out of the way because y'all been blowing this up. This okay, come and say. Naughty, hot song so far. What happened to our Bahamian music, please? All right, cool. I got some of that for you. No worries. I'll take care of that for you. Naughty and MJ, the Minister of Finance, is a mathematician. Mathematician.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Naughty, and to my favorite talk show host, MJ. Let all the naysayers know that you and Pearlie only read the text that your listeners send. I have never heard you guys attack any other talk show host and let idiotic callers call in and attack without cutting them. You do a great job, all right? More of C. Alan Johnson, please.
Shout out to C. Alan.
There we go. Continue to make radio stars right here on Talking Heads. All right. Listen, Naughty and MJ. Guardian 96.9 FM is the hottest station in the country. And that's why you have everybody, including Anton, crashing out and wanting out.
Crashing out.
I thought I was in church, man, and this PLP went strong. The PLP made a political blunder with this attack on the Nassau Guardian and Guardian Radio. They gave the FNM a lifeline by satisfying their rabid base of PLP supporters.
I can say, and I want to send a shout out to all of our listeners, our regular listeners, our new listeners, and today, thank you, OPM. I want to say a shout out to all of them because if you look at the response online, if you look at social media, which is another media that, you know, certain parties sought to put controls on, you know, before talking to Facebook and all that stuff. If you look at the response on social media, you can see that Bahamians clearly are not happy with this move by OPM, the letter that was sent to IRCA. So maybe they need to do some reevaluating in that office and focus more on trying to get the government's message out and giving us a little bit more transparency than going on these witch hunt of hosts.
There you go.
Speaking of a witch hunt, this is a crazy story, right? Like, we have to get to this. This was the one that my mind was on. No offense to Pearlie. I love Pearlie, but I was like, okay, that Pearlie story is not the story. The story is this, whatever happened
But hold on,
between...
Light Tray will do that to you now. He'll throw up a distraction and smoke and mirrors.
I love
Light
Pearlie,
Tray Fleming.
but that wasn't the big story. The big story was what happened
Director of
yesterday.
Miscommunications.
I have never seen the Prime Minister as livid or appearing as livid.
I will tell you, that's the hardest I've seen Philip in a while, Mr.
The
Davis.
Prime Minister,
All
right. The Prime Minister, he was very upset. And it was kind of the first one was a misfire because what he spoke to when he was so upset wasn't actually the content of the article. He actually made this accusation that, you know, the executive editor of The Guardian had made some commentary on the projected $75 million surplus. And that was not at all. That was not at all what that story.
Bahamas.
Well, I'm going to assume he didn't read the article, but that he was briefed. And this is why I wonder again, was that communications team behind the briefing?
Now,
and was everything else a distraction?
Wouldn't that be...
I don't know. Whoever
Light
does
Tray's
the
office
does the briefing for the Prime Minister, because the first time he spoke, he was talking about something totally different than what was asserted in the Guardian article. What was asserted in the Guardian article was that the Prime Minister, during his budget presentation, actually said that the preliminary data stated that we would have something around $135 million surplus for the month of April. But now that we've finally gotten the reports, it's showing a deficit of $2 million. Now, let that sink in for a moment. That was what the crux of yesterday's Guardian article was about. When the headline read that the surplus numbers for April were way off, it was because we were told that preliminary data says that we should expect to see a $135 million surplus for the month of April. And now that we have the actual numbers, we're seeing that it's a $2 million deficit. And the Guardian did not make this up. This wasn't a press statement, but this just wasn't on paper. This was something that the Prime Minister said on his feet in the House of Parliament.
For the majority of the second half of this current fiscal year, we have witnessed monthly surpluses. The month of February 2025 experienced a surplus of $58.6 million. The month of March 2025 settled a surplus of $169.6 million. And as I mentioned earlier in this communication, the first fiscal performance for April 25, which is near $357 in revenues, what we suggest that the strong revenue performance, our preliminary data shows April at a surplus position of $135.4 million. So again, honestly.
And that was said to a wow, because it was a huge number, bombing on the desk, all that kind of stuff. And now we come to July, and it's a $2 million deficit. And the media is not supposed to say anything about, the media is not supposed to say that was way off. Preliminary data or not, there should have been an explanation. It didn't have to be this big blow up that it was yesterday. Just an explanation, okay, this happened, this is why those numbers were so off. But to go on the attack, that's the word that's being used, to go on the attack, I feel was wholly inappropriate.
Okay, I'll give you a good example, just so some people will grasp it. And some of this might be like, too
No, you're the CEO of a company.
Check this out. Every year, this time of year, what do I get? I get my what? Early information and my early data on what? Fantasy football. Hey, who to pick in this round? Who are the projected guys moving up, coming down? I wouldn't draft a team based on that data to save my life. You know why? I got to wait until training camp is over. Who's going to pull an ACL? Who's going to pull a hamstring? Who's going to get injured? I got to base that after seeing.
That's a possibility.
Checking all the records.
I think this is a lot, but very different. The Prime Minister has done this exercise. This would have been the fourth time, his budget presentation, maybe fifth, because I think they had one right after they, would have come into office. They might have had some sort of amendments, but for sure, this was the 4th April that he's gone through. So to say that you had this projected 135 million surplus, but then you had to pay interest, I see why in today's, in the business section of the Tribune, one of the country's foremost economists and someone whose voice you should really listen to is that head should roll. Head should roll. Who put those words, those numbers into the Prime Minister's?
And that's the same Mr. Bowe, who the same administration has sought advice from before. So don't say his advice. Don't say his opinion don't matter now.
No. But
it holds weight.
It's a very interesting conundrum that they've gotten themselves in. But we have a very special guest, and I think this is the perfect time to bring him into this conversation because he was actually there when these words were said. So it'll be good to hear his opinion on this. Of course, we're talking about St. Anne's MP, Mr. Adrian White. Welcome to Talking Heads.
Thank you very much.
It's so
honored
good to
be here with you both.
So good to have you here.
Glad to have you here. It's been a crazy week. All is well with you and yours. How's the fam? Everybody good?
Yeah.
How the boys?
We're all good. The boys are doing well. One's
Excellent.
getting his intern work and the other one's taking it easy in this hot summer.
Good stuff. So let's jump right in, Mr. White. I'm very curious because, like I said, you were actually there when these numbers, these preliminary data was put out there, and then, you saw what happened yesterday. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Between yesterday, today's clarification in the paper, confirmation that the facts were correct,
right,
as reported by the Guardian executive editor, and attending a parliamentary Registrar General's conference at Goldwyn Resort today on the upcoming Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill.
Y'all go big time. Go
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Y'all big time now.
I don't know how.
Had to go with.
I don't know how we're meeting at a foreign-owned property about our local Bahamian elections.
Interesting.
But I'm not the one booking the.
I'm
not the one booking the venue.
You have to be there. All right.
But between yesterday, this morning's paper, and my time at that conference today, they got 3 L's. They lying. Geez, so what I was going to say?
The 3 L's.
Are you going to say lying again? Because I feel like you're going to say lying.
Yeah, they're lying.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So, tell us.
So we went through 2 weeks of debate in the Honorable House of Assembly,
Sure.
and we kept hearing about this budget surplus.
Okay.
When the first member of the opposition side stood up, we found out that it wasn't going to be a surplus in this budget that was ending. It was going to be a predicted balanced budget and surplus for the upcoming year. That's going to be the election year. If you were going to have a budget surplus to show your worth, you would have already done it by now. Instead, we continued that debate, and opposition members stood up. They corrected it. The country, I think, took an overall look of how what they originally tried to lay out was now different. And honestly, we were finally getting a bigger picture. The public didn't see it until the proof in the pudding was shown, and the proof in the pudding was shown when these April reports came out.
Right. You think that this shows that?
Yeah, there was a grand overestimation of expected revenue coming in to the end of the month of April, 135 million. Actually turned out to be a deficit of 2.1 million, so they were 137.1 million off. Really.
Right, but the Prime Minister...
We can't go ahead with what they're trying to pull on us.
The Prime Minister said yesterday, though, that he does expect the overall, at the end of it, once, the full budget year is complete, that the numbers will be around the original estimation. What do you think about that?
It may be true, or it could be the 3 L's: lying, lost, and laughing. Okay? So they were lying during the budget debate, talking about all of this money coming in the month of April, expected to be coming in. And that's all of our business license money. That's all of our VAT collection money. That's all of the end of Christmas money that's finally being collected, reported for VAT, paid on. That's probably our biggest revenue period. That's why we're so confident
in it. And then we had
it.
Easter. That should have gotten an even bigger boost with Easter falling when it did this year, right? So
it should have.
Right.
But if you've been caught lying once, and I know they tried to justify it that we weren't making it up. There was a mistake. Everybody can make a mistake. All the information that they were mistaken on was information that they could very well have predicted and failed to predict that. And what did they do in response? Instead of acknowledging the error and leaving it at that, they came out with a different set of facts. So they were lost on what they were originally lying about. And what was insulting was the way that they went after one of the leading women in our nation.
Yeah, I thought that was very unfortunate.
I mean, taking such liberties as to talk about what she was drinking or what she must have been drinking, that's not prime ministerial conduct. And then at this conference today, the press now is addressing it. The nation is addressing it. I think a lot of people are fed up with what has happened, the way it went down. You looked in the back row at the parliamentary election conference today, hosted by the acting director, Thompson. You had one half of the room, literally the left-hand side, filled with the Prime Minister, the Attorney General.
Okay.
Latreille was there. There seemed to be 2 or 3 other persons from the Prime Minister's press team there. The right-hand side had about 5 or 6 members of the opposition, including Deputy Leader myself, Michaela Barnett, Senator Henfield, Senator Maxine Seymour, and others. And as the meeting's coming to an end, it's getting a little bit heated because we're asking these real issues. Some of the questions that I had related to the fact that these electronic cards are now going to have your fingerprint information in them. And of course, we know every time we put our ballot in the ballot box, our fingerprints going on those ballots. So there are going to be some persons with real concerns that the way they vote is going to be tracked on the card. That information's on the ballot. Anybody that wanted to could really find out. But that's a matter for debate when we go down. But in the back of the room, 2 men, elongated out, legs extended, backs extended. You got Latreille Ramming and the chairman of the PLP sitting side by side. So that's why I say they're laughing. So they've just thrown this out there.
That might be another L word, but anyway, leave that alone.
Well, that's LLL. The lying, and with the not lying, they're lost on the facts. And then when they're lost on the facts, they're laughing about it the entire way. Whether they believe they're coming back or not, I don't think it's of great concern to them. I think their focus is on doing as much as they can while they're there right now. And if people get caught up in the tailspin of it all, that's entirely on them. They're laughing to the bank, in my opinion.
Let's get to the phone lines. Talking heads. Talking heads. Talking heads. Hey, could you turn your radio down for us, please?
Call us back.
Call us back. Turn your radio down and call us back, man.
So tell us more about these biometric cards, Mr. White. So when can we expect these? Are they going to be in effect for the upcoming election?
They're indicating that they will have them available for the upcoming election, which could be any time this year. At the latest, it has to be within the year 2026.
Right.
Persons can opt according to their plan. It hasn't passed in the House yet. It's going to be debated on August 6th. So instead of being debated next week, it'll now be debated on during the week of August 6th. There will be biometric cards, okay? So that's similar to your NIB card. It's
or your passport, right?
Or your passport. It's going to have a photo. It's going to have all of your information, basically besides your banking information. It's going to have your name, your address, your telephone numbers. Fingerprints are going to be tied into that card. And then whatever biometrics persons can get out of your facial features will be in there as well. So you'll have the card. So persons can decide whether they're going to use the card or not. But there's other issues. They're going to have a electronic poll, basically the old traditional books that you would mark off a voter by polling division or by street. You look for the name, you mark it off. Someone's going to still do that in the polling room, but someone's going to mark off on the electronic poll when you've come in to vote. Just saying,
right,
Adrian White
was here
came
and
in
he
to
voted.
vote, and it'll register at a certain time. So all these records are going to go back automatically.
So
but what if technology breaks down?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, that'll be tricky if that happens. This is supposed to help us. How?
It's to make us modern.
Gotcha.
All right, we got to get to the break. Flip side of the break. Callers will get to you right out of the break. I'll get to the text out of the break, and we'll continue our conversation with our special guest, St. Anne's MP, F&M MP, Mr. Adrian White. All right, Naughty and MJ with you right up until 6 o'clock. Keep it right where you got it.
Crime allowances, finessing on them with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan where my accountant lives. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Hear that? That's not just a crunch. It's the sound of flavor turning up. Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud, cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. Everyone's chasing the crunch. Don't be the one who missed it. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Wicked or weakness, you gotta see this. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances, finessing on them with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan where my accountant lives, in fact I'm down in this. You say with my boo-bae tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst.
We're back at you on the Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane in your company right up until 6 p.m. Continuing the conversation. St. Anne's MP, F&M MP, Mr. Adrian White. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Appreciate your patience, callers. Here we go. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. Can you turn your radio down? All right, I know. I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
War room upset. Let's call him.
we got
Busy
somebody.
on the lines.
Hello.
Talking Heads, go ahead.
Hey.
Hey. Chatter in class. What's going on,
Hello.
classmate?
How you do, Madam MJ?
I'm very good. How are you?
Naughty, rude self.
Yes, sir.
It's bad.
And good day, Mr. White.
Good day, sir.
How are you doing?
Great.
This is Dennis Bethel. I am calling, and I had an incident earlier today with me who don't seem to understand like this present administration, who I wrote to about the issues concerning my properties at Pittstown, Crooked Island, where they don't have any legally binding agreement, and was turned down by the investment board on the 4th of June 2008, and 19 days after was ruled against by Madam Cheryl Albury, former Supreme Court Justice. I wrote to this administration 2 years, 8 months, and 12 days today on the 14th of November 2022, asking for an update to that rejection letter since the 4th of June 2008. They haven't answered me yet. Now, I would like for you to tell everybody what it means, because Pittstown is non-compliant with the International Persons Landholdings Act, Section 3, Section.
I think, yeah.
I think we lost you there, but yeah, he's called him with that. He's still waiting for an answer.
And the time just keeps stretching. He's been
Correct.
calling about that for a while.
And I tell you, I saw you talk about social media earlier. I heard our good friend here, Sparky. I saw Sparky on a video today. All I can say, let's go to the phone lines, talking heads.
Hey, Naughty MJ. Honorable Adrian White.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. You know, Naughty, it's really amazing that they can find monies to deal with this particular issue with trying to produce biometric cards for this upcoming election, when we, the Bahamian people, have been asking for the same thing to be done with illegal migration and immigration in this country as a whole. I don't think that these cards even will go far enough, because right now as it stands, Naughty, as we all suspect, as we all heard for quite some period of time, in fact, for years, we've been hearing about these fraudulent documents. We've heard about persons who got our official original documents, and they are not even entitled to them. And, still the question is, they can't speak a lick of English. How could you swear allegiance to a country when some people say that that's not even a requirement? Just repeat after me. Whatever. It's just a bunch of baloney. I think if you're going to go to the extent to spend money on biometric cards, you got to also add eye scanning. Because we know so many people come into this country, they use the same names over and over and over and over, and yet there's no resolution to this thing, okay? That's one thing. My final point is this. It's really sad to see that the highest office in this country, which is supposed to be the most respected office in this, being used to do the nonsense that we see going on right in front of our eyes. There are just some Bahamians in this country who aren't attached to any political party, but they want good governance and a comfort for the Bahamian people, which today we are not receiving. We are still waiting for all this money being spent traveling all over the world, and yet there's not been one true proper accounting for these monies. When are we going to hold these persons accountable? When are we going to put them before the courts? When are they going to come to the Bahamian people and show that the law is not biased, the law is equal across the land, and everybody's supposed to be governed by our laws? But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to continue to listen to the conversation, but it's really baffling to see that our country has really gone down into the toilet bowl.
Good stuff, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
When he says, every time I hear travel budget, what brings out in my head, $1,157,448 on one trip to Azerbaijan, with $150,000 in there for sustenance. What that is, lunch? That's the meal money. Talking heads. Let's get to the next one. Talking heads.
Hello?
Hello,
Naughty. This is Rolly.
Hey, turn your radio down just a little bit. What's going on?
What are you saying? I got a few issues. My first issue is with the MP. I want to know why he's not wearing his big shot band.
Yeah.
That's my first issue. Okay.
I got my
and
big...
my second issue is Earl. We all know deplorable. Earl is deplorable because he went to SAC. He should have went to QC like me.
The two of you are deplorable.
This Rolly?
Yeah, that's Rolly.
Oh, you're a mess. You're a mess.
But while we're speaking on the subject of alma mater, we all know who is responsible for those numbers being in the Prime Minister's speech to Parliament.
Yeah.
And he went to your alma mater. And you know that's Mr. Simon Wilson.
We don't claim him, but we don't claim him just like SAC don't claim Minister. We don't claim Simon.
Hey, that's your alma mater. Okay?
I got one from QC I can find for you, real quick. I got a couple I could find from QC for you.
But as for these projections of surplus, right? The government can't be serious with a projection of a surplus when they keep going over budget with every single project they announce. Remember the prison? The prison was originally $40 million. Tell me how on God's earth the prison get $90 million. Okay? This glass bottom bridge they supposed to be building for $80 million. The head of Contractors Association told them you could build that for 10.
And don't forget the $189 million for the road projects in Grand Bahama.
I don't know
That's
where
been paused.
these astronomical figures come from.
The PM, the Minister of Finance, is a mathematician. So let's
new
see.
word for me.
Let's see what other hocus
Thank you
pocus
so
can come
much.
with. Good
Thank
stuff,
you so
Rudy.
much, caller.
Let's get the other calls. Talking Heads.
Yeah, what's popping, Naughty? What's popping, MJ? What's popping,
Hey.
Mr. White?
What's going on, 52?
You know, Naughty, I'm ecstatic to the BS I'm hearing, right? I don't want to talk about the rejected surplus. What I want to talk about is accountability. The PM said in some statements as to relate to immigration, I don't know if you heard it, it was on the news, and I heard him say that he's talking about investigations and this and that about one particular scenario, but I'm not impressed with those type statements. It's gaslighting at its worst because no one is intelligent to gaslight my external reality, but I just leave and say this, right? Do the investigation on the Chinese migrants at the Hilton Hotel with 60 of them with no passport and 3 with passport. That's what I want an investigation into. I tired of the BS, man.
Thank
Good stuff,
you.
52. Let's get this last call in. Talking Heads.
Hey, how you doing, Naughty?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm Mary J.
Hey, good afternoon.
How you doing? You know, I always call you. I'll tell you about the numbers. I don't mind listening.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What's going on?
I tell you about the numbers, and I like to speak to your guest on the stage. I tell him, I say, I love his contribution that he makes into the house every day. When he gets to the house, he makes a solid contribution.
Thank you, caller.
My question to you, sir. Do you have the heirs of the F&M in your party? Because we need change in Anglican, sir. We need change and desperate change in Anglican.
Yeah, I have the
Just one
ears,
thing,
and you're the voice. So
I'd like
when
you
you
to do
speak,
one
we
thing
listen.
for me, sir. One thing for me. I delivered this seat out of the hands of Myla Butler during the time when he thought he was the big man and gave it to Philip Galanis. And at the time, we had to do some things to get him out because he was, please send somebody in Anglican. Don't send them 3 months before the election. Send them now.
Thank
Caller,
you
good
very
stuff,
much,
man.
caller.
Glad to hear from you, man.
I always like
Noted,
to
my
hear
friend.
from that caller.
All right, we'll get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll get into the news. Out of the news, we'll be back into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll continue the conversation with Mr. White, and we'll talk sports. And we will have a cameo from the star of the day.
Pearlissimo.
Earl the Pearl himself. Pearlissimo will be zooming in. All right, so we'll hear from the Pearl as well when we get into Talking Sports. All right, but I want you to keep it right where you got it. The Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas South Island Promotion Board, Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Click, KFC, Muffler World, Nassau Cruise Port, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, and Sandcastle Bahamas.
Hey, hold on.
You said Bahamian
No
music.
disrespect to nobody else.
You said it.
No, big up to all my Bahamian artists, right? But on this show around here, okay.
Yeah.
Some KB on the next one, no mind.
Yeah, you like it's KB.
You know, KB is my brethren, man. That's my bona fide.
But we love all Bahamian
All of them,
music.
all of them. Like we got mad love for them. We broke plenty of their music. Some D-Mark too, you know.
Especially the younger generation.
Some KB and D-Mark on the next set from a place, all right? Yeah, if you want to play digging, yeah, you can play that one too, because this administration ain't be digging this.
Stop it.
Anyhow,
behave.
Let's get to the text lines
And
real
we
quick.
have a lot of text lines. Good Good day, Naughty and MJ. Did you watch? Okay. Yes, I will. To the texter, I did watch pieces of it, and then I turned it off. Naughty, what do you think about that new seawall on Go Slow Bend? The same wall you have been talking about for so long. I love it. It's kind of looking better. They got the cardboard.
No, they still got the wood on it.
2x4.
But I know the text meaning that they've raised it up a little bit higher.
Now it is
than
higher.
It was.
It's tricky because I used to like the view.
Right. Well,
it's looking better than it's been looking for the past.
I think if a tourist should buck up into it in one of them gators, they be riding around and they should be all right instead of going completely over like they did the last time. So yeah, it's coming on text. It ain't there yet, but it's coming. Now the question is, how much did we pay for it?
Hey, Naughty and MJ, big up Pearly, the master dodger of the deep fryer. Stay strong, Pearly. Tell the PM, get them figures right. Where's the surplus, Mr. PM? This texter says, good day. Y'all in the media supposed to shut your mouth and toe the political line. Oh, sorry, that's for your boy, Mr. Fleming. You guys are doing the right thing.
It's taking off. I love it.
A spade. Don't lotion the PM. We the people want accountability.
Tell a friend.
This texter says, good day, Naughty and MJ. The Guardian Radio talk shows have gone to the number one over the other shows, and this is why I tune in every day. Congratulations on a job well done. Keep up the excellent work. That's from Grand Bahama. We are listening today. Sila.
That's what they say. I appreciate
Shouts
that,
out
man.
to
Talking Heads,
you.
the talk show that other talk show hosts listen to. That's how that carry on. That's how that one go.
And talk about. This one says, good afternoon. Naughty and MJ asked Mr. White to investigate why all of a sudden the governing party is holding meetings at Goldwyn Resort. Follow the numbers and see how many work permits have been issued for foreign construction workers at that site. Something in the milk is spoiled. Maybe it's for convenience. It's right across the street from the office. Okay,
No,
I don't know.
It can't be that. This Bahamian parliamentary elections and we're in a foreign-owned property. No, man.
This texter says, this is a long one. Let me get through it. Naughty, the Minister of Finance made those bogus statements. He wanted to gaslight the people into believing that the country's finances were in order. The minister stood on his soapbox and heralded a 135 million plus surplus for 1 month. Now, in the dark of night, buried it in a glossy financial report, it was revealed that it was not a surplus, but a deficit. Do you know what that big error would do to the country's financial position for the remainder of the fiscal year 2024-2025? It's massive. All the PM has to do is say he misspoke again and that it was not a surplus of 135 million, but in fact a deficit of 2 million plus, and assure the people by presenting the numbers that the country is still on track to achieve his 2024-2025 fiscal numbers. He doesn't do this, but instead he's trying to deflect by attacking the citizenry. This is a poor behavior and makes the PM minister look like he knowingly lied and is trying to hide something. Ooh, that's a judgment. This texter says, so Naughty and MJ, see why the PM, Minister of Finance, Financial Secretary, Simon Wilson, carried on so badly a year or so ago. He's following his boss.
And what?
Well, yeah.
Another shameful example.
Let's get to texts. We'll get to more of your texts. Thank you. Keep them coming. But
let's get this other call in real quick. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Good day, Naughty.
Good afternoon.
You and MJ and your guests, how you all?
Good afternoon.
Be good. How are you?
Good.
Yes, sir. What I call to say, you all, this PLC government is not good for the Bahamas. That's why we need to send them home packing.
Amen.
They were the only, if on other countries, this PLC government would have gone the first year, they would have forced them out. In the Bahamas, they are good for the Bahamas. The former Prime Minister, people in England, always used to say, the PLB is not good for them. And we can see that. We need to send this government corrupt.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller. Good stuff.
So let's get into some more questions because we have so many from Mr. White. Immigration.
All right. Yeah. Now, Mr. White, I need you to listen to this. This is another piece right here from the Prime Minister. When asked by the media, do we have an immigration crisis or an immigration problem in the Bahamas?
Immigration crisis. Fact of the matter, our record speaks for itself. The fact that everybody doesn't know what's going on doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. If anyone just step back and see and recognize that We have not had landings. We have had very little landings over the last 4 years. And we have repatriated over 15,000 immigrants in the 4 years, the most in modern history. That if at our detention center, the population is its lowest ever. We are doing our job in respect to ensuring that our borders are being protected and persons who are amongst us are here legally.
Speaking of what's going
Now, there's a lot there, okay? But my thing about it is that sentiment right there, to me, it was, there's no immigration crisis, they're not landed. Mr. Prime Minister, there is wide, popular conversation and public opinion and concern over a certain flight that frequents Haiti 3 times a week on our national flag carrier Bahamas Air. And we don't know how many come in, and we don't know how many go out. And I find it very interesting that in the midst of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs putting out a travel warning for Bahamians not to go to Haiti, there was no issuance of any information about this flight staying home, being grounded, or discontinued until it picked back up in Haiti, wherever they service. Mr. White, in your opinion, do you think we have an immigration problem in this country?
Definitely, and it's twofold. We got an issue with migrants that are in the country that continue to come into the country, and then we have a second side of the immigration issue in the country right now, and that's the administration of the immigration department itself. Just today, I think it was, the director stepped down and a new director was put in his place. That's after the Free National Movement had a public press conference and unveiled the SHIELD policy toward immigration. We have right now, we don't see the sloops getting on shallow beds anymore, just offshore, even historically out as far as the Coral Harbor Defense Force base. But I think we actually have professional smugglers that are bringing people in different ways, that are setting them up even before they land here with everything that they need. It's really a new opportunity for these migrants that are coming either by plane or by commercial boat or by fast boat. I was in Seabreeze one afternoon, and I was driving to a friend's house, the latest Quincy office in St. Anne's, and I saw about 7 persons that looked like they were walking. They had some instructions. They were walking along. They had a backpack, but they seemed completely lost, didn't really know where they were going, but they knew enough to keep going forward. What I found out this year since I joined the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee is that human smuggling is not a crime in our country. But if someone smuggles persons out of the Bahamas and gets caught in the U.S. or lands them in the U.S., that's an offense in the U.S. It's not an offense in our own country. Human trafficking, which is a different offense and calls for more criminal liability, is an offense in our country. But the smuggling, the transit, is not. And it's really clearly a big business. What still stands out to me, and we don't hear anybody talking about it, was the 17 women, it might have even been 18 women that died inside the hull of a vessel off of Arawak Key when the boat capsized and turned over. I mean, gone, dead, 17, a massive number, and we don't hear anybody talking about it. If the deportations have increased, where are these people coming from? If they're not coming in to the country, are we birthing migrants in the Bahamas now? No, they're migrating here. The numbers they're taking out have come here under this term.
Do you think that considering the amount that are arriving, that are undocumented, we don't know how many are coming in, how many returning, we don't see the numbers for repatriations, and without a Freedom of Information Act, we won't see that.
Well, the Minister of National Security did say that they repatriated over 13,000 during the past 4 years. That's what he said on the record.
But I still need to see proof of those 13,000.
Yeah,
I don't want to see 1,200 here, 400 here, 600. I need to see the breakdown as to.
And yes, no, I agree, and I should check and see if they updated that website like we had requested.
My point is, a lot of texters of question. I hear it at the barbershop, the last bastion for free speech in the country, in the world, I think, and there's a fear among Bahamians that there might be, for lack of a better word, a new voting bloc being formed. And a subculture inside of our culture that might take us over, outnumber us?
Yeah, I definitely think that within that voting bloc that's here, you have persons that are organizing in that manner. They have political ambitions in the country. Haiti has a a vast rich political history. So the persons that are coming here and staying here for long periods of time, they know and they're planning the next steps. Persons that are professionally bringing them into the country have that as part of their plan as well. We have migrants that are coming in, unregulated in my opinion, actually sponsored probably in many cases by professionals. You have a backlog of 10,000 cases in the country of applications. I've seen applications pending now for over a year just for an annual work visa. So, the system is not working even on an administrative side. And I don't know that it's necessarily because it's overworked and overburdened. It might be that there's enough persons working at the immigration department, and in many instances or in often cases, when that enthusiasm to be productive on your job is handcuffed, it diminishes overall work turnaround. And we really need to change our immigration approach on those two levels. And even on the third level, we have to be realistic of what we want in our country in the next 10 years, next 20 years. Do we want to just simply succumb to the fact that persons are migrating here and going through a work visa process for 10 years, getting on to permanent residency after 10, 15 years, and then after 10 years, and then getting on to citizenship after 15 years? Is that what we want? And if it is, have we really considered it? And in my opinion, that's not what we want. We can humanely change the policy approach to it. We can begin, as was laid out in the F&M policy, to limit the number of persons that do get approval. And we have to review what's going on in those first 6 months, what's been happening. Has there been political interference? Has there been persons that are affiliated that have basically had free reign? And can we stop them from continuing to do the harm to our country with professional importation of migrants, in my opinion?
What do you say, sorry, one quick question on immigration. What do you say to the narrative that we've been told that, we just have so many positions that we need to fill, particularly in the construction industry, and we don't have skilled Bahamians ready to fill those positions, and this is the reason why we're giving out so many.
We've been saying that for years now, and if the past to put the horse before the cart, get this sorted out in the proper manner, organize our labor force so that we know what labor deficiencies we have, train Bahamians. It doesn't have to be a career for them, but it can be a starting position. It can get an extra income in the household. It can go towards a down payment on a home, and then their careers can always change. Younger persons can start off with menial jobs. Everybody does it, no matter what profession you get into. You start at the bottom of the ladder. And also in the construction industry, you see that a project gets approved, but we don't have the labor force to fill that project. So why is it that we're approving the project if we're not trying to stimulate our economy? And if we're willing to cut out half of the stimulus opportunity in the construction of the resort, why are we approving it now? Meet with the persons, set up a time frame, have a 3-year period, get the construction team trained, and then when everybody's trained and the labor force is there, the trade force is there, the engineering, architectural expert forces are there, then give the project the approval to go forward. And if we say we don't have the labor force, but we also have Bahamians in the construction industry that are saying that they have the skill and they're not getting the job, organize a number of construction companies. We saw it at Atlantis. There was a number of construction companies that came together to build what is probably the greatest mega resort in the Caribbean. Definitely was at the time under the...
And now, listen, before we get to the phone calls, ladies and gentlemen, man needs no introduction, but he's joining us via Zoom. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for everybody's favorite Dodger, Earl the Pearl.
Deep Fryer.
And Deep Fryer.
Earl
the Pearl.
Hey, Pearly.
How you guys doing? What's up?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain.
Good. Just hang tight. We're going to get to this call, and then obviously we got lots to talk about. Talking Heads. Caller, hit us back. Caller, you still there? Yeah, hit us right back, caller. I apologize, caller.
But you mentioned something just now, and Dwight, about the construction of Atlantis and how great that was, and how proud we should be as Bahamians of what we were able to accomplish. We see now that the Coral Tower, and I spoke with you about this, Naughty, because you were at Atlantis working at Jokers for so many years, and I asked you, I said, have you ever remembered the Coral Tower closing? This would be a first,
Not
right?
from my time at Merv Griffin, and then it became Atlantis, and then the second phase, even though I was to Breeze at that point. And all over the years at Jokers, I have never, ever even heard of the Beach Tower. Never used to close when they had the Beach Tower open. That would close at the end of September into October. Coral Tower, same thing. That would close end of September into October. And by end of November, December, back over.
So this is interesting. You think that tower has how many rooms?
August.
How many rooms do you think?
It's crazy to me.
How many rooms?
That Coral Tower should have about 1,000 rooms at least,
So for
or maybe more. Don't quote me.
So for 2 months, Mr. White, is this something that we should be concerned about? I know the Deputy Prime Minister often talks about us needing more rooms. So to hear that tower is going to be closed for 2 months is strange.
It's a major concern. I mean, why in a number one destination in the world, definitely in Western America and the East Coast, why would we be satisfied that a major resort should close when its main towers? Remember going over there when I was 11 and 12. My aunt and cousins, we go to Swanks. Let me go around
Some of the best pizza ever, my brother. Speak on it.
Go over to Coral Towers, whichever proprietor had it then, and look at the sharks and the sea tanks that they had. But we really need to, if we're going to be patting ourselves in the back, and if we're not accomplishing it and we're still patting ourselves in the back, then we need to grab ourselves at the back collar and carry ourselves out of office and let other people come in that will work with our tourism industry, work with our tourism resorts and our leaders, and make sure that it never gets to a point where a resort, even during a slow month, has to close towers. They might be down in a few numbers, but we'll boost those numbers through advertising, through benefits and opportunity packages to come into the country. People still want a vacation during the summertime. That's, when the kids are off, so they're obviously going to have to take time off. No tower should be closing. I don't know what's going on with the Minister of Tourism. He has several things, I think, that are of more interest, even things that are of more interest to him than his own constituency. I spoke about it during my last debate contribution. He's got the Pompeii historical site that is in need of repair. But, we have these developers battling. It's a key area.
Yeah.
What's the priority? Signing contracts? Why is that the priority? Why not keep the resorts that we do have here at full occupancy? And if you can't get the job done, step aside and let someone that can, or let someone that has new ideas, or let somebody else, after you failed, step in and get it done.
All right, let's get to a couple of these texts. And Purdy, I want you to chime in whenever you want, my brother.
No problem. No, I'm enjoying the conversation.
But you're here as a guest today. I'm inviting you as a guest.
Oh Lord,
you're a guest contributor today. Okay, I'm just covering all the details. You know what I'm saying? Making sure we're copacetic. All right. Naughty and MJ, has the government given any clarity to all the operations on Athol Island? I remember the MP for St. Anne's was asking some questions about how this operation got there. Any update provided to the good MP can provide? And obviously that's 5 swimming pig operations on one island, if I'm not mistaken, correct? In that vicinity, right?
Yeah, it's an environmentally protected area. It's been environmentally protected for decades. It's a complete shame and shambles what has happened to Athol Island. And if this government gets in for another term, you're going to have to try to identify what is next to be scraped to the bone, to be transformed from a aviary sanctuary where birds and other historical sites once existed. And now you have to realize that it's just really for pig manure.
Wow. Let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hello, Naughty. This is Raleigh again.
Okay, what's on it?
Yeah, I have a query about the thing Joe raised about citizenship and this new biometric card, right? Could this new biometric card not just be an excuse for their new voting bloc to go to the poll and vote? Because if you think about it, once they put someone in to scan them and they're allowed to vote, they don't even have to know how to speak English. They don't even have to know their own name. Once their biometrics are in the system, they get a vote.
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns with it. There's the concerns with which party is actually implementing it. I think the people have had enough in terms of giving the PLP the benefit of the doubt, and that's unfortunate. But the PLP party administration brought it on themselves, from Athol Island to the Exuma seabed lease to the high increased costs of BPL. Why now is the government pressing forward with this? What don't we see besides all of the realities of the system crashing on election day and bringing pure confusion, madness, and court cases after the election. Why are they bringing it now? What is the real motivation for it? Who's going to have these cards? I'm probably going to stick with my purple card. I don't trust the PLP enough to be going and getting an electronic card, but I'm going to have to watch. I'm going to have the poll workers with me in the St. Anne's constituency watch very carefully, not only to what we've figured they might be up to, but the things that look suspicious, because it might be what they're truly up to.
All right, I got a text, right? A couple other texts. Let me get to them. Good evening, Naughty, MJ, Pearlie, and you get never leave home without having a meal. I have listened attentively to many of the talk shows on Guardian over the years. Any moron can see that two of your colleagues, well, your colleague and his sidekick, are searching for sustenance. Maslow spoke of those basic needs in his theory. I don't know what they ask for or want, but tell them stop singing. Wow, you went to the Maslow theory on that one.
That's crazy.
I tell you, we got smart listeners and texters, for sure. All right, Naughty. The PM is clueless. Monetary public to monetary public finance. It's his financial secretary, who is feeding the PM with this bogus figures and projections. His acts of desperation have the PM uttering a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I really wish those numbers were, accurate, because he did say them from his feet in the House of Parliament. But I do want to ask Mr. White this, because this is the biggest thing that Bahamians are dealing with right now, the cost of living. Everything is absolutely expensive. And now, on top of that, we have these sky-high BPL bills. It just feels like the walls are closing in and we're looking for some relief. We just don't know exactly where we'll find it. Tell us a little bit about your party's, proposals and plans to reduce the cost of living, make electricity more affordable, should you guys become the next government.
Yeah, the initial things that we'll be doing when coming into government will be automatic release and alleviation of the strain of the cost of living in the purchases. So we'll be exempting everyday basis. We'll be going back to the bread basket. We'll be adding in healthy food items that are already covered under this new 5%, but those go down to 0%. Women's hygiene items and several of the costs that were exempt from VAT before will become exempt from VAT again. Medicine being one of those,
mm-hmm.
Yep. You also have consideration for insurance and other medical costs. But there needs to be some instant adjustment to what households are having and being forced to come up with, even our retired pensioners. Unfortunately, they suffer from medical issues later on in life, and treatment, maintaining a standard of living for them. Now, when I talk about a standard of living, I'm talking about maintaining their life is dependent upon certain prescription drugs. And those aren't all covered by the prescription health plan. And the drugs that they have to pay are very costly. So there are several things besides just the reduction of VAT, but that would be a starting point. I'm sure we'll make any amendments we can, any adjustments we can to the cost of living through BPL, but there's just been this wholesale chop shop of Bahamas Power and Light into 3 or 4 different entities now. We have this LNG pipeline that's meant to be coming from Clifton to service, maybe to Arawak Key to service the cruise ship industry. But how is that not also factoring in the demand for electricity in the downtown and in the central constituency areas? Aren't there changes that can be made for everybody, not just an immediate large-scale need that it's going to benefit a few, but not really me and you?
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we'll be with Mr. Adrian White. We'll talk some sports with Pearlie, and we'll get you into your weekend. But keep it right where you got it, because the Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this. Texas, I got them all coming. Keep it right where you got it.
Let's go. Catch yourself. Mind control yourself. Where's your dignity? Show some civility. I say, catch yourself. You must stand yourself.
Pop the top click, check your cap at 700, 200,000 in cash and prizes, with winners on different islands. Collect. Pop the top with collect, check your cap at 700. You could win free bears, take a sip and collect merchandise. Matter say, I pop mine at Exo-Marigala, I pop mine at Homecoming, with free bears at Abaco and just check your cap. When you go round Bahama, collect. Pop the top with collect. Check your cap at 700. You could win free bears, take a sip and collect merchandise. Mother says.
Drink responsibly, boy.
When it comes to burgers and flavor, you already know he's the king. And he's the king of crunch, the master of flavor. And he's gonna set your taste buds on fire. I'm talking about the new King Crunch sandwiches at Burger King Nassau. No cap on this one. Crispy fried onions, pepper jack cheese, and a bold chipotle sauce. Can't forget about the fixings that cover that crispy chicken patty. And if you love your beef patties, 2 flame grilled beef patties on BK's new King Crunch sandwiches. They're bigger, they're better, and bolder than the other guys. But hurry, they're only at Burger King Nassau for a limited time, so try one today.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Hey kids, it's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp, July 28th to August 8th at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for boys and girls, 5 to 18. Pair and learn from the NBA superstars past and present, including our very own Buddy Hield of the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks, former Laker great Michael Sweet Bells Thompson, another great among the point guards back in the day, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Application forms now at the Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Tonic Williams, Darling Highway. Call 341-4021 or check the website, jeffrogersbasketballcamp.com. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty Love and Mary Jane and Earl Pearl in your company right up until 6 p.m. and getting ready to wrap things up right now with our special guest, Mr. Adrian White. But before we do that, we're going to get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
What's up, Naughty? What's up, Pearly? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, St. Pete? How you doing, man?
In
Petersburg.
Yes.
Man, I'm right here. Just, I had another surgery. I had a skin graft, man. And that boy, when they showed me the pictures of that, they had to take skin off my in the back of my knee and put it all in the back of my thigh, put it all over my knee for the healing, boy. And that's the worst. Like when they took the bandage off, it was, boy, that ain't no pain, boy. Like I said, they say big man don't cry, boy. I can't tell you.
Hey, I'll tell you a funny story there, St. Pete. I knew a comedian. He had to have a skin graft on his face, and they removed the skin from his left butt cheek and went on his face. So we call him butt face all the time now. Good stuff. We got a hot one today, man. Glad to hear from you. I want you to call me next week so we can get caught up. But we got a hot one today, man. All right, St. Pete, feel better.
All right,
speedy recovery.
Be safe, man.
You too.
All right,
You
prayers
too,
up for you, brother. We'll talk Monday. Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads.
Yes, hey, Naughty, I just want to say one thing about this digital biometric voter card. I want the humans to know, it's not an F&M, that the biometric voter card, it requires a complex web of privacy, security, legal, technical, and ethical challenges that this government has yet to address. A thorough rollout, it should take about 18 months in aggressive and 24 months or more. We're talking about an election that's a year out, and they have not told us where they are in the structure line, where any tests are performed, we don't see custom development that should be probably in the public domain. We don't have a strategy for nationwide rollout. We don't have a deployment review. I mean, there's so many different things, but this is not a happenstance or a silo like people like to say. The technical people, the technology experts. Oh, we already do it. We're already doing it in what do you call it, in the passport office. For instance, I've had people argue with me recently in the last 2 days. Oh, they already have biometrics. When you go to the U.S. and they pull up all your biometrics, they don't understand that biometric data that you see when you go to from what they got from you when you made application for a visa, not their connection to the Bahamian thing. We have a silo. And so now they're talking about interconnectivity and information sharing, and we have demonstrated through our actions, with all due respect, digital naivety in regards to how things work and shanty town digitization. And I am very, very concerned because the voting changes the direction of the country, and you don't have a second chance to get it right the first time. And so this year, this has to be ventilated, not the digitization process, but the timeline for its use. And that's where the discussion should happen. I know 2 hours is not enough time for me to talk on this, but we definitely have to have a conversation.
Definitely. What do you think about that, Mr. White? His concerns about the timeline of the rollout of these new cards?
It's the timeline of the rollout and the significance of the first trial of the system. So we haven't had any trial of the system here in the Bahamas yet. And when you're using it for such a monumental time in our history, an election period, as C. Allen said, governments hang in the balance. So there are penalties under the bill for persons that manipulate the results. There are penalties for persons that breach the software and the data. But I raised it in the meeting today. How exactly is that going to impact the final election results? And the answer was, we'll just go back to the recount and to the paper ballots. Those aren't going to change. Well, if we're so dependent on the paper ballots, what's the reason why we need to go onto this electronic system and are putting so much weight into it on the election day, as opposed to having these electronic cards? So yes, you now have a third form of identification. It has your biometrics in it. It's going to be able to be used across multi-government ministries, going to lead to better efficiency online. But why tie it in and make it part of the electoral process in this upcoming election? And you have a system that's going to have half paper ballots, probably even less, more than half, because most Bahamians are going to be skeptical. They're going to be overly skeptical since it's a PLP government, and right now you're probably going to find a quarter of the populace using electronic cards. We asked, where are these electronic cards being produced? And honestly, the acting director of will be produced in his office or some office that he had control over. Someone even suggested they might be coming in from Canada. It's just too much. You know, people don't need all that confusion when it comes to something that we have such pride in, and that is the elections in the Bahamas.
All right, let's get to this call, and then we'll wrap up with Mr. White. Talking Heads.
Naughty.
Yes.
How you doing? First time calling up. I'm a Long Island descender, right?
Okay. What's happening, Buck Jack?
All good, my brother. I got a question for the member for St. Anne's, right?
Sir.
His leader, he could answer, I'll hang up after I ask him. His leader questioned I listened to him, he questioned the infrastructure for Devon Ski Long Island runway. That runway was like that for years, right? 1997, and I'll ensure you all could back check it. Long Island had 17 cabinet ministers in Mr. Ingram cabinet. Either they were directly from there or descended. And none of them touch it. Mr. Davis trying to touch it, and their leader questioned it. Whether they question it for some reason or another, I would have leave that alone as the leader, because you're fooling with Long Island. I'll hang up and I'll hear you all
Thank you.
answer on that, okay?
Thank you, Long Island. Don't be a stranger, Mr. White. What do you have to say about that?
I agree with the caller. Don't fool with Long Island, but get the things done that the majority of people in Long Island want you to do. The one thing about Long Island people is they're industrious. They're proud people. A lot of them are in Nassau in the banking sector, but when you go back to the island itself, you attend a funeral, you go to Regatta. I mean, it's one of the best locations in the Bahamas. You know, paradise on earth, and the people are wonderful. There's a mix between how much tourism they want to see come into the country. There's a lot of young persons that need to be employed, and the great fishermen there, great sailors there. So there's got to be a balance of how many smaller scale developments, resorts, how much infrastructure is going to be there. It's as important as it is having a tourism driver through a larger airport, international flights coming in. But don't fool with Long Island, but work with the persons that need things done down there and do it the way that they want it done.
All right, let's get to what we got to get to. We got to wrap with Mr. White. I appreciate the candid conversation. We got to do it again.
Thank you so much.
And I appreciate you, accepting the invite and coming in and spending the time with us.
Thank you, Naughty. Thank you, MJ.
And like I said, keep us posted as to what's going on with all your endeavors. All right. And
Let me
keep us-
just ask him before he gets out of here. How are things looking in St. Anne's?
Things are looking great in St. Anne's. We're going to be out at what I call St. Anne's Bay tomorrow between 10 and 12, meeting with constituents. We've been on the ground Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. We've done big capital grant projects in Sapphire Sunset Ridge Park. We've planted trees, St. Anne's Bay. We've got a sloop sailing tribute park coming from Montague Foreshore. So we're really spreading the money around. We did it in Johnson Road Estates with the improved basketball court, put up gel fencing club. Persons are happy walking around their communities right now, but there are a lot of smaller communities, Johnson Road Estates, Johnson Terrace, where we're going to need to get some more money from the capital projects in there. Some areas are harder than most because they don't have community parks set aside or even identified. Some residents have even tried to quiet them. But down Step Street, we've been on the park there every year doing a nice grill and chill. So, I'm comfortable rolling right up into Step Street. I've been doing it.
Step Street, but I tell you, boy, you
doing it
got
from
your
when I
hood
was a
pass.
youth.
I like that.
Yeah, doing it from when I was a youth. But as we close, I want the people to know that not only are the F&M, but the majority of people are now looking at the PLP and saying, they've done too much. Really, they've taken too much and they've done too little. And there are efforts to intimidate and victimize Bahamians. Even we're seeing it now here at Guardian Radio with the press. We can look at them, we can laugh at them now. We don't have to be afraid of them anymore. They've shot this shot and they've missed. And the next government is going to be coming in. It'll be coming in with a large support from Bahamians, not just it's going to come in with PLPs that are upset with their party as it is. That's the way we go in the Bahamas, and the time to do it is now, and the nation realizes it. And I'm here in support of every constituency, every Bahamian. I'm support of the nation.
Thank you so much, Mr. White. We do appreciate the time on a Friday. What you got planned for the rest of the day? You going dancing? What you doing?
No dancing. going to a.
You ain't going to open no windows?
No, I'm not opening any windows.
Stop.
Gonna be hanging out with a few persons in the eastern area. So some of us F&Ms are getting together in the east, gathering, having a good time, and talking about what needs to be done.
Sound like some people getting off the couch, coming back to the pools, eh?
Everybody's getting off the couch and coming back to the pools. Naughty. This is a nation. It's the best one in the world. Whether it's the littlest or the biggest, it's the best.
There you go. Good
Thank
stuff.
you so
We'll
much.
see you next
Please
time,
give your
Mr.
regards to and kiss those boys.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we're gonna powwow with Pearly, our brother Pearly. We got some sports to talk, and we gotta make sure Pearly, is Pearly. Pearly, come on the fat fry, please. Come on the air fry. We ready to go, Pearly? Let's go.
You say you're going to break? I didn't know you was talking to me. I thought you was this guy getting a break.
No, well, eat two more wing and then be ready to go. We coming right out of the break. Keep it right where you got it. Don't touch it.
Check this. You'll never see a dog barking at a parked car.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 nuggets, corn, our new white rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC's Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and lap repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
This radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
We move into the rhythm of the Bahamas. Yes, I know. We move into the rhythm of the Bahamas. Here we go. We move into the rhythm of the Bahamas. Come along. We move into the rhythm of the Bahamas. I love to see my people dancing.
Well, we're back at you on the Friday, July 25th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty, MJ, and Pearly, and your company right up until 6. Perlissimo.
Si, senor.
I can't leave it alone for 5 minutes. I done told you.
Listen. Things, I'm troubled sometimes, man.
It's all good, man. That's why you link part of the mod squad. That's why you link.
Hey, man, I tell you, I got to be a link.
But Pearly, I just want to say, man, I've seen where this is mushroom too. And to think that innocently enough, it was, Naughty, if you need me for Thursdays, I could hold on Thursdays. And I always appreciated you allowing me to go and watch our boys play ball, you know what I mean? So yeah. I appreciate that. And then I always thought too, well, let me steal a page out of Juan McCartney book, Howard is filling once a week for Wanda. If you can fill in for me one day, you should fill in one day a week so your scale's strong. And you've done a great job with it, bro. So I don't want you to feel water off a duck's back, bro. Okay? Like real talk.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that
very much. Because for the first 3.5 years of this show being in existence when we made the move, I don't think a word was ever said. Except for your Dolphins suck and tell him shut up about the Dodgers. He's that guy. Outside of that, it was no problem.
Yeah, so did I, but it is what it is.
I had one say, I'm texting today and say he still supports you even though you were grossly out of line with your commentary regarding Caitlin Clark.
Listen. Tell him don't worry about that. I was very much online with him. Matter of fact, I'd seen that. Obviously, he wasn't listening because I was bigging up Caitlin Clark and saying that it's not fair that she's only getting $78,000 a year and she deserves to get paid a lot more money. So, I tell him I couldn't believe I was saying that, but I actually said that.
I have a text that just texted in, and I have to stress this now. Your text is really biggity. Naughty, please tell Pearly I love him.
That's
from
a lot of
Sacktown.
zeros. Oh, wow. Ooh.
And text her, why would I be jealous? And I got the love of my life.
Someone who love you like Pearly love them Dodgers, you're good to go. Trust me. Trust me.
So let us deal with
I have a feeling that's why I feel I know that is from Sack, and I appreciate that. But that I also heard one fella from QC call they're talking things, Tell him. Anyway.
You know how QC go. They always want to be on the scene somehow. They always third wheel coming up the road.
Them roly-poly doors around there, but QC. One win in the last 6 years, and you think you didn't discover America. But anyway, that's all right.
All right, let's get to somebody's text.
We have more Texas. Texas says, MJ, don't trust those tourism numbers. They're letting go of 70 employees by Atlantis. It speaks volumes. The sad truth is that our tourism offering is imbalanced with too much cruise, hamburger tourists, and dwindling stopover, high-paying tourist profile. That is interesting. Do you guys heard that? 70 is that they're going to be laid off or for the 8 weeks? Have you guys heard anything about Atlantis?
No, the news said earlier that they said they're not laying off anybody. They're doing some volunteer retirement and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they say they're only going to be closed from August 17th to September 30th, and they're going to find other places for them to be. So that's what was in the news a few minutes ago.
Okay, I missed that. Thank you so much for clearing that up. Perlissimo, this Texas says the immigration population is lowest at the detention center because the government is allegedly giving illegal immigrants Bahamian passports in hopes of winning the next general elections. I pray to God this David-led administration is voted out. This texter says, Naughty, I have to jump on the bandwagon. Tell Pearly I think he's very biased. I don't like how he talks about Caitlin. Oh, you said that one before, right?
Right.
You see what your angel lovers get you? The Caitlin's coming for you.
We had a good talk about Caitlin yesterday and about the WNBA and some people think to be.
Does she still have old groin?
Yeah, no, she's still out. She's still out.
Women have groin. We have already settled that. Stop trying to make a joke
we
on
settled that.
Caitlyn,
We did
okay?
settle that. We did
That's
settle that.
settled law.
I wanted to know if her groin that she possesses is pulled. That's all.
Yeah, but she's back. She's not back yet. But I think they lost. I mean, my girls get Angel didn't play last night either because of a back problem.
This texter says,
So actually, the Fever did win last night. They beat the Aces, but everybody's beat the Aces.
look at that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Aces. Boy.
The Aces up and down.
my.
They got injuries going on.
My.
Yeah, but you know who coming up with some good wins? The Sparks. They coming up with some clutch wins.
You've been keeping your eyes
Chelsea
on
Plum
them, right?
looking good.
Yeah,
Plum looking
I don't
very
want to.
good,
I don't want to say nothing about the Sparks, but the Sparks have got some people back off injured reserve, and now quietly they won like 4 or 5 in a row. Then your girl Cameron Brink is about to make her debut, I think, next week. So the Sparks may be one of those teams that get sneaky hot toward the playoff run, and you don't want to see them in a first round matchup.
Yep. That's exactly what they need to look out for.
This is another text.
Exactly what they need to look out for.
This texter says, well, the right one in there today, I think they're referring to Mr. White, because Adrian is brilliant. His team may not be, but he is. I hope his constituents know he's a keeper. Only about 5 of them in the house make any sense, and he's one of them.
Oh, boy, buckle up for this one. Naughty, this text is for you. The only issue where Pearly shows his bias is with the Dolphins and the Dodgers.
They got you there, Pearly.
Now, when it comes to Prime Minister Davis, with respect, the real concern isn't being picked up. The relentless stream of fallacies and untruths circulated daily by our politicians, especially during election season. Our politicians misrepresenting critical national issues and misleading the Bahamian public, especially on certain outlets like, If the PM does not want his delicate sensibilities offended, simply enact, fund, and fully mobilize the Freedom of Information Act. Now, what I do find disrespectful is yourself and all the disrespect that you put toward the greatest player of all time, in your opinion, Texter, LeBron James.
Please don't say LeBron James.
I will never call him king.
Oh, my gosh. Always a LeBron sighting.
But back to the Prime Minister, with respect, the real concern isn't being picked or lied on, but the relentless stream of fallacies. Please do better. Okay?
All right.
And I know, listen, that's a card-toting bronsexual right there.
That's fine.
His
And that's fine.
bronsexual fan card is in single digits. I think he got the first or the second.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And,
So I'll take that. I could live with that. I know from whence it came.
Yeah.
But
the quicker LeBron, and you know what? I'm very guilty of being biased when it comes to the Dolphins and the Dodgers, and somewhat with the Lakers, but more so the Dodgers.
Rough training camp for you guys. The torn ACL. Your cornerback already injured.
Yeah. He's out. Yeah.
Pearly.
Gone.
I'm not saying anything. MJ's keeping me grounded.
Oh my God!
But Shotty got some Jimmy Johnson to him, bro.
Don't say it.
Shotty got some Jimmy Johnson to him, bro.
We have to find out where the delusion comes from.
You keep missing the whole elephant in the Dallas Cowboy room. Ben Micah passing and get his money.
We can get. Listen, we got at least that one more defensive lineman signed and boosted up so Jerry could really get. Jerry liked to pay top dollar.
Yeah, but Jerry you obviously been listening to what Jerry been saying.
Jerry been popping off. I've been listening to Jerry. That's the Jerry that bought the Cowboys and walked on the golf course and fired Tom Landry.
He should trade Micah Parsons.
Listen, that's posturing, all right? Micah could be there. Now, Trayvon Diggs could get traded. Watch on that. That could be a possibility. So we don't know. We'll keep an eye there. Y'all need a cornerback, right? And Dallas got one. Boy, look here. With the second and first round picks looking like Burley.
We got plenty. We got plenty picks. Picks are not an issue for the Dolphins.
Well, I'll tell you this. For everybody who's tuned in and always chimed in and locked in, and I know when corporate and legal told me when this show started, you got to do an hour of pop culture and politics and all of that, hour of sports. I know some of y'all said, "Man, Naughty, we really
you gotta
like
do
this
that sports."
You all relax, take a deep breath with me. This Sunday means 7 Sundays until the kickoff of the NFL, and yesterday, Thursday, was the last Thursday without football for the rest of the year.
Oh my!
We got preseason starting on Thursday, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Why are you so excited?
Because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Pearly, let me ask you something. Dodgers or Dolphins?
Yes,
Dodgers or Dolphins? You could only pick one. There you go.
Dodgers.
There you go.
You ain't gonna ask me?
Yankees or Cowboys?
You can say Cowboys.
Yeah. Being silly.
How about that?
Yeah, but it is the Cowboys. We know that.
You know, that's
I think the Cowboys even over the Lakers.
If I pick you over the Cowboys, Yankees, and Lakers, you know that's true love, baby. But if it come down to them, I hate to say it.
It's the Cowboys.
No.
The Lakers?
For one reason.
Kobe Bryant. All right. Figured that one out. Gotcha. Pearly, he's got a tear in his eye.
I miss Kobe, man.
He's got a tear
I
in
miss
his
Kobe.
eye.
I feel cheated that I don't get to see Kobe in this stage of his life, and I feel upset that for LeBron and the Bronsexuals to try buoy his legacy of losing, they're now trying to tear down Kobe in death, which I think is horrible. We could talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But one thing that Kobe left us is with Mamba mentality. We don't play that. I got a ton of people out there with all the stats to match, so we could have that conversation next week.
Anytime.
What are you doing for the rest of the weekend, Perlissimo?
I think I'm going to go to Gumbe. Check it out.
That should be fun.
Now you know you're
That
famous
should be
now.
fun.
When,
Now I
when
might
you
wanna
talk,
go.
they could be like, "Oh, that's Pearly."
You are famous. Yeah, you're popular.
There you go, man.
But once again, I just want to thank everybody for the support. I appreciate it. And even the ones who don't support me, who think otherwise, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But, I'll be here as long as I'm welcome to Naughty. And I got to say, I appreciate Naughty giving me the opportunity to show my skill and in the words of my good friend Peter Turnquist, find my new thing. So I like that. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, MJ, for the support as well. And let's just do it. I'll do the show, and I'm going to be as fair as possible.
Don't change a thing, Pearly.
I'll say this much.
Hey.
My eyes are open wide, and I'm going to be very eagle-eyed, so don't buck your toe. That's all I can say.
Shout out to Knowledge, who always got it locked and loaded, man. Big up the Knowledge, always out there doing his thing, man.
We love you, Pearly.
Pearly, good stuff,
We
man.
love you.
And we appreciate everybody, man. And for super producer, the Waldorf is there. Always pleasure working with you, my brother.
And our very special guest today, Mr. Adrian White, MP for St. Anne's. Thank you for spending time with us today as well.
I always love doing Talking Heads with you, how it always started. And Shirley, and it's come in, boy, kaboom, kaboom, here we are.
Hey, the talk show that other talk shows listen to.
Number one in the afternoon, it's what we do. Always remember that. That's in the
Trust
works
me.
already, man.
That already in the
Don't
works.
watch nothing.
That already in the works.
And to all of my colleagues here at The Guardian, keep on keeping on. Keep doing you the way you do it.
And
And
the
we're going
crew.
to keep on doing it the way we do it, the way we do it.
As a Nassau